taking has a personal is personal leave for a day. But who are the other ones? AVT. AVT's still got his ankle, and then Carl's dealing with a back.
I mean, Carl's been a little over a week now, I think. Is there any?
Yeah, he. I'm not going to get into detail on the stuff he had done, but this is part of the kind of the rest phase to get him going back up. I'm hopeful that we'll get him back in the practice next week.
What about Dwayne?
He's getting closer. Not going to put a time frame on it, but he's getting a lot closer.
And Carter Warren hasn't been out there for a while.
Yeah, he's dealing with another injury, and he should be back. We're hoping to get him back next week.
Robert, when it comes to the offensive line, we've seen, I know you're watching defense, we've seen a lot of the struggles that they've had today, or in camp so far. You've rotated a number of players with the first team. The one guy who has not had any scheduled first team is Makai. Is there a reason for that? Because you see the struggles, you see guys with former first round picking, like why isn't he getting the same chances?
No, that's a fair question, and Makai and I have talked about it. It's the biggest thing for Makai is to show that he can play a game, right, without having to be spelled out and take a break and all that stuff. And so it's unfair to the team to prepare a guy to start if you're not sure if he can make it through a game. So he is moving in the right direction. Like I said, I thought he had a big step against Carolina in that game, and he's doing a really nice job competing. And every day he's pushing himself to do a little bit more and more to prove that he can be out there for a full game. And as soon as a staff, training staff, and everyone feels comfortable that he's able to show that and stack days up, we'll definitely start rotating him in to compete.
When you see some of the struggles that maybe some of the other guys are having up front, does it expedite the process where you want to see him play a game? It's not fair to the other guys, but also it's like, okay, we need to see if the talent can do it.
He can do it. It's just a matter of being available. And so as soon as he shows that he can be available, everyone knows he can do it.
What about giving him reps on the right side to Robert?
Yeah, he gets, for sure, he gets all his reps on the right side during walkthrough and all that. So he's being worked that way, and so we're hoping to get him some right tackle reps here, some live ones, starting tomorrow.
How soon before week one do you need a starting five?
Like I said, as a coach, you want it done yesterday, but at the same time, individually, we have a lot of faith in the guys that we have, but just trying to find the right combination. And if it takes us up to game day, it takes us up to game day. But we're going to keep pushing. I know our players are working. It's very important to them, and a lot of faith, like I said, in the individual players we have competing. That hasn't changed. It's just a matter of finding the right combination of guys and going out there and working together.
Robert, yesterday you said that you were okay with how Dalvin Cook's situation off the field was progressing. Are you concerned about him getting suspended during the season at all?
No, it's I'm not sure. We're not concerned, and we'll see how all that stuff goes. But at this moment, we're not concerned. No.
So obviously he's here. So what's his week look like?
Yeah.
Starts attending meetings.
For sure. So obviously having him here was awesome. Going through his physical, signing his contract, all that good stuff will happen, I think, this afternoon. And but he's going to integrate himself in the meetings and acclimate himself to the building. I do believe he's going to go home over the weekend to have they're having their baby, which is going to be awesome for him. And then he'll be back the following week.
You know when Bruce will start doing team drills?
Like I said, it's going slow with them. Probably more into next week.
Robert, what'd you get out of today, and how positive are you about what happened out there?
I'm always, whether it's good or bad, I think there's just so many great teachable moments on the football field when you practice in a controlled environment with another team, because the strain is game-like, but the safety of practice. And so there's a lot of things that we'll be able to coach, playing different schemes, feeling different bodies, guys you're not comfortable with, and so we'll be able to go on the tape and just watch it all. But there's a lot of good. There's going to be some bad. It's going to be some ugly. But at the same time, there's so many great teachable moments. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do with controlling it, things you've got control over, you can get so much better off of this tape.
Robert, they're a franchise that 3 years ago was pretty much where you guys are now. Did you pick their brains at all about that? Did you get a chance to?
Yeah, that's been throughout. It's they've we've had discussions. I'm not going to get into detail on those, but you can always learn from other people.
Sorry to go back one more time to the offensive line. Anyone who watched Hard Knocks last night saw that it was a big theme of the show. And obviously, it seems like they're put under the spotlight a little bit. How do you think that unit is responding to the challenge you set?
I think they respond every day. You know, we had the practice we had on Wednesday. They came out and had a really good game, and I think we rushed for over 120 plus yards or whatever it was. But you know, so I think they respond to everything. Like I said, that individually are a really, really good group of guys. It's just trying to find a way to mesh and gel and find the right combination of five and then letting it rip. But a lot of faith in the group. It's just, like I said, as a coach, the urgency was yesterday, but we're going to continue to grind to make sure we get the right five out there.
Maybe a couple more. One more on Makai. You said like you need to see him. He needs to show you that he can perform and play for a full game and not come out. Does that mean that in one of these final 2 preseason games, the plan is to play him an entire preseason game to see if he gets through unscathed?
Not necessarily, because there's a play count where we feel comfortable based on practice, and like no one's going to hit 70 plays in a practice during training. No one does that, but you can tell from a conditioning standpoint. You can tell from a play count that he hits, and you know it's not just for us to see; it's for him. You know, to have the confidence. Like this is a team effort for Makai to get connected to his knee and have the confidence that he can conquer the world with it. And so as much as it is for us to know that he can, it's also just important for him to know that he can, because I think it adds so much power to him and who he is. And so we'll feel it. Like I said, we're constantly building up to a certain play count, and that's for everybody. And he's been grinding towards that.
What do you feel like he's in? Robert, with the right tackle thing, because that's been a question in the past. And also, when you speak to the confidence in his knee, he's made comments that he felt like last year playing on the right side contributed to his injury.
I'll comment on the first one. I'll leave the other one alone. But he is. I think he's on board. I do it. He's saying all the right stuff. He's been practicing. He's, you know, in the walkthroughs, it's been clear. Like he knows that there's possibility of being on the right. I think he's realizing that he loves the game of football and he wants to be out there. You know, so in any capacity possible. And you know, like I said, if part of our best five is him playing right tackle, I think he's on board. You know, it feels like he is. And again, obviously for him to answer, but it's the way it feels right now.
So what do you feel like Becton is like now compared to when training camp first started?
Oh, he's so far ahead from where he was at the beginning of training camp. Light years ahead. So.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.